£10 each.
Please listen and understand this song.
Did you go homeworks?
You never had to homework.
I never went to school.
Yeah, look, you know it.
Am I right in saying that the script, the characters, there was a basis in real people, in real life to this film?
Yeah, it's inspired by a family called the Johnsons, and the writer Alistair Siddons was researching. We'd worked together on a documentary that I was doing about pirate radio stations, and then I was supposed to be doing another documentary for this same production company, and Alistair was the sort of researcher, and he found this incredible family called the Johnsons who were being accused of every crime in Gloucestershire, and they're a pretty unapproachable family, but he'd forged this relationship with them, and he showed me this footage that he'd shot and was trying to persuade me to do the documentary. And at that point I wanted to move more into, I'd started working with this band The Streets and was doing music videos and working with actors more, and I wanted to move into doing more drama stuff, and I said, write everything down, and we should make a film about this one day. And yeah, 12 years later we did. But there's quite a lot of stuff happened in the meantime, but yeah.
12 years, so that was the time between the original idea
Yeah.
of this film being made.
Yeah.
Wow. And that family, have they seen the film?
They have, yeah, and actually that was one of the best screenings we had. They, not all of them, because a few of them were in prison, but they came down to the BFI, the BFI's official offices in the West End in London, and it was really a lively screening. They were shouting at the screen, they were shouting at each other, but all within the, they were in the story, and they loved it, and they said it was really truthful and authentic. They didn't use those words, but and it was a real, because Alistair and I were very nervous about that screening, and, but for me that was a real kind of stamp of approval that we'd told an authentic story and that we'd done something that was real, and that we actually phoned up. There's a real Chad, and but he was in prison at the time, and we phoned him up in prison after the screening, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they say it's good out. They say it's good." And there was all this commotion going on in the background. And I said, "What's going on, Chad? It sounds really noisy there." "There's a riot ad. I better go." And I was like, "Okay, see you later then." And then he came to see the film at the London Film Festival. And the one thing he'd said to me when we were researching the film was, he just said, "I don't really care about anything, just make sure the car chases are good." So I was really nervous, but he approved of the car chases.
Something that's very notable about the film is the excellent action, the car chases, the manhunt sequence, and yeah, I'm just interested in how you put those together, and particularly the car chases. They're thrilling in a way that the directors can't always pull off when doing those kind of things on screen.
Oh, that's very, very kind of you to say. I mean, we worked hard at trying to. The whole point of the way we told this story was, I wanted it to be a story from the inside out, because often, different communities can be, it can be a voyeuristic look from outside, and it's a bit objectification, or it can be a kind of caricature, cartoony version. We wanted to, this script deserved something that was truthful, and I wanted, I like going to the cinema and being taken off into a world and really understanding why people are behaving that way in that world, and that you're actually part of that world. So the car chases were an extension of that approach, really, and I watched a lot of really the inspiration was from films like The Driver. Have you seen The Driver? Amazing. And Vanishing Point, a lot of 70s, right, where they didn't, you just felt the excitement of the chase. I'd driven with the real Chad a few times, not on, he did say one night when we were staying, he was like, "Look, Ad, if you want to know what it's like, you just come out with us tonight." And I was like, "No, I'm not doing that, Chad. I can imagine it, you just tell me about it." but I did drive with him a few times with the family, and there'd be he'd have his son, his kind of 5-year-old son, on driving, and he'd be, if there was a traffic jam with Chad, he just goes up the side of the road, the verge, and just drives along there, and you're all like that, and then there's 4 kids in the back kind of piled on top of you, and my instinct was to kind of look after these children, and they were just like, fuck, why would you? Well, that's not the way we do things. So it was trying to capture that excitement of what it's like to be in a chase. Because basically I haven't got the guts to actually really go and do it. And I wanted to, And he, just those stories he told us about all that sort of fire extinguisher, stopping for fags. That's all. Well, I say true stories. Chad's also a brilliant storyteller, so who knows? But
it's great material for a movie.
I believed it,
Obviously, you've got some real major British acting talent in this film. You've got Michael Fassbender, Brendan Gleeson, Sean Harris, these guys. I wondered about the casting of the film and just whether, how that cast came together.
Well, it started with who was going to play Chad, because that had to inform everything, and I knew Michael's agent quite well, and he'd always supported my work from when I was doing music videos and stuff. And in fact, he gave me, I remember being very excited after I'd made this one music video that people quite liked, and he gave me a script in Soho, and it was like, oh, I'm in movies now. This is like, nothing came of it, of course, but it was just like, and he was always really supportive. So I got that to Connor, and he got it to Michael very quickly. Read it, liked it, got it to Michael, and Michael had, piles of other scripts from, you can imagine who from, and Connor was quite annoyed because Michael just read this script first when he heard it was based around the travelling community, and he really responded to it, and so he wanted to meet me, and we met, and he just really understood Chad on a kind of deeply, kind of profound level. He knew who he was. He really, and he'd had some friends when he was growing up, but travellers, and it spoke to him, and he was, he likes driving. He did loads of those stunts. He likes driving fast cars. He said, I think on the second meeting, he went, okay, look, I want to meet the family, and they're going to want to fight me, so I'll fight them. That's all right. And it was like, well, probably they won't. No, they will. They will want to fight me, and I will fight them. And so, anyway, that didn't happen, but it would have been good for the DVD extras, wouldn't it? And you believe he would. That's the thing as well, is that it was you kind of believe him in that world, and it was hard to find. There's not that many actors that you believe would kind of want to fight bare knuckle, as part of their preparation.
Yeah, wow.
Your dad's a legend, Toysan.
You did say we weren't living with your dad forever, Chad.
Got potentials.
Thing is, Chad, we can't be having your old man and his old lot pitching up. We're a cell community. No troubles, and I want to keep it that way.
You got a remarkably natural performance from the children that were in the film. If you could tell us a bit about your approach to that.
I'm not going to take credit for any of those things, because actually you get a brilliant casting person. We had an amazing woman called Anna McCauley who went round all the schools in Gloucestershire, a load of sites, and was asking at the schools, I want to speak to all the children that have been excluded. And this didn't go down very well with the headmasters and headmistresses. And which is interesting as well, that actually there we were trying to, give someone something different to do. And they didn't want their troublemaker kids to get that opportunity. And maybe, again, there's a whole other debate. But so she was brilliant, and she got us this. We did a few workshops, and one of the workshops we chatted with Georgie, and I said something and kind of took the piss out of him about something, and he just kicked me as hard as he could in the shin. And then Alistair was sitting next to me and started laughing. So he just kicked him as hard as he could. And we both went home with these kind of purple bruises on our shins going, I think we found him. You know? that's Tyson. And then, you know, I've worked with sort of kids before, and the key to it for me is creating the right environment, but then it's the actors that do it, that give you, you know, if they are willing to play and tolerate the kids being, and especially on this film, because Georgie's really challenging at times, you know. But yeah, if they get the performances, you know, Michael made Georgie cry at the end. You know, he told him he was going to have to jump, that he really was going to have to jump, and Georgie started believing that he was going to have to jump, and that's where those tears. Again, there's a lot of morally ambiguous things going on here, but is it good to make it? But actually afterwards, he kind of got it. He sort of understood what acting was like. Okay, we play with something here, and then we feel something and we show it, and then it's all right. You know, and so that's, you know, those tears are real at the end.
You've had a long working relationship with the Chemical Brothers, and they were responsible. One of them was responsible for the music here. Could you tell us a bit about your sort of relationship with them and how that fed into the music in the film?
Yeah, well, I've been working with them for over 20 years. Which I think, it is, apart from family, it's the longest relationship I've ever had. Definitely the longest job I've ever had. I do all their visuals for when they play live and design the lights and the visuals, and it's a fantastic job because it's kind of creative freedom without any of the politics that are involved in other filmmaking genres. And yeah, when I was thinking about the music for the film, the Chemical Brothers music, the spirit of the Chemical Brothers music, it's got this energy and this anarchy and this kind of, also this heartfelt emotion and euphoric celebration, and then real sadness and then real darkness that just felt right. But the palette felt wrong. So I sent the script to Tom, and he really loved it, and he actually went away and wrote a load of stuff after the read-through, and came back with these incredible pieces of music. But they were Chemical Brothers, you know, it was the Chemical Brothers, and it was like, this is brilliant, and you feel a bit like, you know, turning down these amazing tunes, but they were tunes, you know, it wasn't score, and it wasn't the right palette for this film because it needed to have a kind of timeless quality, and so I asked him to go back and we talked about having a palette, and so he got classical musicians and a friend of his that played a squidge organ or whatever. That's not the technically right term, but you know what I mean. And with the movement, something anyway. And it seemed to have the right feel. And then so he got them to record it, and then he took it back in the studio, and then he worked his magic on that. So it was kind of a long-winded process, but we got somewhere really, you know. And he didn't like doing that at first. You know, he was like, why don't you get someone that does that? Why are you asking me to do it? I've given, you know. And it was like, well, because you will do it more interestingly, or you've got a take on it that I think would be more interesting. Yeah. So it was interesting. But I think what he's done is brilliant, and it's really, you know, it just seen at the end, particularly, you know, the melody that kind of cut the melody as we called it. And I just think he's done an amazing job. Yeah. And it doesn't. Some of it sounds like the Chemical Brothers, and all of it's got the spirit of the Chemical Brothers, but it's not the Chemical Brothers. Yeah. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what you do next, and all the best with Trespass Against Us as it comes out. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming.
I love you so much.
I'm getting away from you, Cole.
You forget who you are, boy.
I'm just trying to look after my family.
I'm your family.